I'm extremely proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by Gfuel, and you really want to listen up here because right now Gfuel is doing their BOGO sale, which that means you can buy one and get one free on a lot of Gfuel products, including a lot of anime energy tubs. It's going to be running from June 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to July 5th at 3 p.m. So you do not want to miss out. Make sure to use my affiliate link I'm going to leave in the comment section pinned for you. Just to clarify, because some of you guys have asked, I do not get paid off of this. This is an affiliate link. So unless you guys purchase something, I don't get a dime from this. That being said, I'm going to make a few recommendations for you guys. Number one, that Naruto Sage Mode hydration formula absolutely slaps. It is back in stock, so you definitely want to get that. The Gohan Blackberry Tea is good, and that Duke Nukem Ego Boost is absolutely to die for. You guys have heard me say it before. I use Gfuel personally, so I'm excited to be an affiliate with them. You're getting all the vitamins that you definitely need. Most importantly, there's just enough caffeine in those products to get your day started, and best of all, there's zero crash to it, and there is zero sugar. Two really huge selling points of why I personally support Gfuel. In typical anime fashion, I am going to need you guys to send me your energy by clicking the affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment, and when you do so, make sure to use my promo code KAGE to get yourself a discount. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what appears to be a growing reality in the Boruto timeskip story, which is Boruto Uzumaki is levels above everyone else in his generation to a point that any progress the others may have made, they might seem insignificant in the process, which is why in today's newest Naruto Explained video, I wanted to directly tackle what some people in the fandom are considering to be a problem and discuss whether or not I think it's a bad path for the narrative to take that direction moving forward. So I think we all can pretty much agree that Boruto came back utterly crap. Anytime the guy is in his base, can just toy around with white Karma Seal code without limiters, despite that version of code being someone who directly scales over the Jigen who bullied Naruto and Sasuke, gave Naruto and Sasuke fans everywhere PTSD, but below Isshiki who fought Baryon mode Naruto. Anytime that level of power is something where the character is just casually looking at it and saying killing you would be easy, you're clearly several levels ahead and above other characters in your generation. Even if they manage to level up to a Jigen tier power, which due to the power progression is shown, and that's not actually the craziest thing. There's a lot of people in Dragon Ball who are Super Saiyan level that you wouldn't have thought be possible. But even if they did manage to reach that level of power, Boruto, he's just that much higher. The story itself is self-aware of how strong Boruto is. It's actually hilarious how self-aware it is. So Delta was used as a vehicle to express some other concerns and questions of some people in the audience when she watched Boruto dodge Kawaki's Kokugan Dojutsu at point blank range despite the attacks being instantaneous, and he reacted to Kawaki's speed blitz in a casual manner and he dropped him with just a single hit, leaving Kawaki unable to do anything except for start staring up at the skies at the warning punch that Boruto gave the guy. Not even a serious punch, a love tap. It caused Delta to hear Boruto's question where he said, Kawaki, did you even train the last 3 years? And she looked at this man and said, wait, is this man crazy? How much did you train? Basically letting us know as the audience that Boruto's growth rate, what we were seeing, it was completely unnatural. However, I think this was the right approach with Boruto for quite a few reasons. Hot take here, especially given the gap between himself and Kawaki, and it all goes back to the narrative. So when you get to the end of Boruto Part 1, the strongest currently alive characters who were active combatants, they were Damon, who hadn't yet used his full power, Code without limiters, Kawaki, Boruto, and Sasuke. You had the line dropped by Damon that informed us as the audience that for as powerful as he came across, he was going to be treated most likely like Beerus in the Dragon Ball Super manga, where he ends up being on a sliding scale of power until the narrative reaches a point where he gets surpassed, which that hasn't happened yet. And I think the same thing is going on with Damon right now. It's very similar to what we saw in, say, Naruto's manga with Madara. Edo Madara was way above the other characters on the battlefield for the most part, and even having a Rinnegan and Hashirama cells, we're still told that, hey, Edo Madara, he ain't nowhere near the power of a live Madara. When he gets revived, in his natural body, and he takes the Sage mode from Hashirama. Even though he's blind and has Sage mode, Hashirama looks at all that and he says, hey, this guy, he's still weaker than he should have been when he was alive at full power. That's directly stated by Hashirama, but we don't know the details of what that entails. So was it, say, 90%? Was it 99%? Was it 99.99999%? But that same Madara, he bullied and one-shot Sage Mode Walk Naruto. That same Naruto with Dog Walk Pain, blowing him backwards, mid-speed blitz in, was toying around with EMS Sasuke and he nearly killed him. The same EMS Sasuke who was able to track the speeds of Jubi Obito's attacks, yet Madara was toying around with him, and Madara, he just kept getting stronger. At one point, Hagoromo even says that one Rinnegan Madara was close to his level of power, clearly trying to reach a level of power that his mother Kaguya had, only for Madara, after that statement was made, to go on and get another Rinnegan, a Rinne Sharingan, and absorb the God Tree. Kawaki ended part 1 of Boruto so strong that he held the upper hand on Boruto, and arguably, he would have killed him had it not been for that small team led by Sasuke and Shikamaru that stepped in to stop the fight. Code without limiters was implied to be above end of part 1 Boruto and Kawaki. Boruto on the time skip, he started knocking down the doors on each person on that list. Sasuke was blown away by Boruto's growth, saying, hey bruh, there's nothing else I can teach you, because Boruto had learned every single jutsu that Sasuke could have taught him. The only thing that Sasuke said he needed to do was to keep further refining the jutsu that Sasuke passed down to him. He had to live with that shame and burden, that guilt that came from being unable to stand beside his master in his final moments, not even use his karma seal during that fight based on what we saw in the manga, and live with the guilt of, if only I were stronger, maybe my sensei would still be here. Maybe my sensei wouldn't be a bird's nest. That's how he got so strong, that he bullied Code. That guilt was a strong motivator to get him that strong, to a point where it leaves no room for debate so as to if he can take down Code, and it leaves no room for debate as to who's the stronger between the two. That was someone training to make sure the next time he was in a situation like that, he would not lose anyone else. Yet, that wasn't enough power. He also needed to get strong enough to not just beat Kawaki, but be so powerful he could fight Kawaki and beat him into the ground with so much overwhelming force that it resulted in Kawaki giving up and seeing things his way. Very similar to how when Naruto fought Sasuke in volume 72 of the manga. It would have been easier for Naruto to just fight Sasuke with the intention to kill him. You see the proof of that power in the manga fight after Sasuke sees Naruto is holding back and he warns him, hey bruh, you better use your full power before I kill you. Naruto's like, is this dude talking to me? And when Sasuke summons the 9 Biju chakra that is inside the Jibaku Tensei, and he combines all that power using his perfect Susanoo as a conduit, a feat of chakra control that the yin half of Kurama that Naruto got from Minato, was saying, hey, this is on the same level of the Sage's 6 paths, and he forced Naruto in that moment to use his full power to block the Angel's arrow. The power of the 9 Biju, it was countered by Naruto, the sign that had Sasuke truly gotten what he wished for prior to that moment. Had Naruto gone full power at the start of the fight like Sasuke initially wanted, Sasuke would have been dead. Sakura would have been a childless cat lady, and Sarada wouldn't have even been born into existence. Boruto came back with that level of a power gap, and it's because of that power that he is able to begin forcing Kawaki into submission and show him that despite him being so strong as he is, he's still the same Boruto as before, someone who uses power to protect and not destroy, regardless as if he's Momoshiki's vessel. It's the only way he'll force Kawaki to unseal his parents. By extension, it sets Kawaki up to begin furthering that spiral that we're seeing where he's losing his grip on everything in the process, because the relationships that are built on lies and deception, they will always crumble due to the fact that the foundation they were built on was cracked to begin with. We're seeing Kawaki eating L's in preparation for the massive breakdown that is coming, and when he explodes, it will be nuclear and it will be sped up along due to how strong the narrative has made Kawaki. For Damon, it comes down to, has Boruto shown enough that Damon considers him a worthy opponent to use his full power on? If the answer to that question is yes, then we start getting some very real answers to some of the power scaling questions, and we get to see the normally bratty and confident Damon in a position we've never seen him in before, which is being challenged by someone. The true measure of a man, it isn't on how he acts when everything's going his way, when everything's going super well. It's how does he act when he's faced with things outside his control, where issue after issue begins to start piling up, where there's just someone who's just superior to him in every single way. Does Damon throw a tantrum and does he snap, or does he embrace the challenge before him? Boruto being a potential vehicle for that is very telling, which I am currently leaning on there being a subversion of our expectations come with Damon, where it's someone else who pulls out that power of Damon. I'm telling you now, Bugs should be a sleeper. You can't go wrong with Boruto being the one that does that though. With characters like Sarada and Mituski and Konohamaru, they're the ones who we could look at and say, hey, maybe they're being overshadowed, and to an extent, hey, I'll agree with you. However, it comes down to understanding the nature of why behind their training. If you expected Sarada or Mituski to be as strong as Boruto is, then you might have set the bar a little too high. Boruto had everything possible at its disposal for an extremely supercharged growth, and while there were a few common denominators between the three members of Team 7, each of them were growing in part 1 at rates that were much faster than their parents, even though that pisses people off to even say that. Facts are facts. Each of them are stronger than their parents were in the first 47 volumes of Naruto's manga, and having gotten to that level of power at the age of 12 without having an urgent desperation to fuel their training, which that definitely matters. Having a clear goal for your training, a clear enemy you have to defeat, it goes a long way. It is a shonen trope. Boruto had other outlier factors that raised his growth, where them catching him in 3 years was not going to happen. It was not realistic. Boruto literally has the full 100% genetic data of an Otsutsuki. He is literally the example. He is just built different. His Karma Seal literally contains the power of Momoshiki inside of it. If Boruto were a car on his own, he had a V8 engine, and Momoshiki's power is a fully modified supercharger that is added on top of that V8 for additional power. Boruto was always going to break through ceilings that they wouldn't even get close to. His floor is higher than their ceiling, because unlike his father, Boruto at the age of 15, he isn't some crayon-eating idiot. He's much further along in his understanding of chakra and chakra control and all things chakra than Naruto was. Even with it being implied that he is afraid of the power of karma and he cannot control it, it's still the same thing that's pretty much left unchanged. What I've been seeing with a lot of fans is it kind of seems like a lot of people, they've forgotten the goal of Sarada and Mituski. It wasn't to catch Boruto in strength. It was to reach a level of power to be strong enough to not be left behind the next time Boruto is faced with battling an Otsutsuki level threat, like they were when Boruto battled Code with limiters. They weren't even considered by Boruto's options to go after Kawaki. They had to learn about him being in battle and dying and getting brought back to life via a third party, and Boruto lied to them to their faces about what seriously happened. For characters who have a higher floor than the Boruto Kage have as a ceiling. Let me repeat that. For characters who have a higher floor than the Boruto Kage have as ceilings, where the Boruto Kage were strong enough that they could gang up and fight alongside Sasuke and Naruto, they were able to inflict damage on Momoshiki and Kinshiki. That's the bare minimum of power that they were looking to reach, and I would venture to say they definitely surpassed the Boruto era Kage. I don't think that's up for debate. Mituski, yeah, he never let it hit on Boruto. What you talking about? But see, in Sage Mode, he did show enough to make Boruto have to resort to using ninjutsu to block some of his attacks. While Boruto wasn't in any real danger of losing that battle, he was clearly in control of that fight. Mituski did show more than enough in the fight to where we saw Mituski had reached a respectable level of power worthy of putting some respect on his name. With Sarada and Konohamaru, there's a little less to go off of, but her dodging a point-blank Chidori and tagging Hidari with a counterattack, that is very impressive. Konohamaru being smart enough to realize, hey man, I can't eat a Chidori, that ain't gonna happen. I ain't trying to meet my grandpa this early. So instead, he uses a wind release defensive barrier to exploit the chakra advantages that wind release has over lightning release in order to survive what would have been a otherwise lethal attack. it shows a lot of growth on Konohamaru's part. There is enough there that has been shown to us to not belittle or downplay the progression of those characters. With Sarada and Mituski, there's enough there to say they've reached their goal of helping fight against Otsutsuki in a support role, but they would still be weaker than Boruto, which that is okay. Piccolo ain't as strong as Goku, he ain't strong as Vegeta. Well, right now Piccolo is on that level. You know, if you read Dragon Ball Super, you know what I mean, but the point still stands. So to mock them is to basically go back to Shippuden and mock Sage Mode Kabuto, Orange Mask Obito, and EMS pre-Rinnegan Sasuke for being weaker than one Rinnegan Jubi Madara, 8th Gate Guy, and stabilized Jubi Obito because they're a couple of tiers below them in power. Most people, they would call you insane and say you can accurately state, hey, this person is stronger than this person, but the person weaker doesn't make them weak. If we go with Boruto being in the tier, in this current Boruto being in the tier with Isshiki and Baryon mode Naruto, and the tier below that being white-haired code with limiters, Jigen version 2 Karma, 6-pass Sage mode Hokage Naruto, Rinnegan adult Sasuke, red hair code with limiters still on. If we say for argument's sake that Sarada and Mituski only went as high as the tier below Jigen, so down there would say Sage mode Hokage Naruto, Fuse Momoshiki, base Hokage Naruto, base Momoshiki and Kenshiki, and you just slide Sarada and Mituski behind Kenshiki, who's not a weak character by any measure or definition of the word at all. If we just use all that for argument's sake for making an example, here's the thing about that. It is still someone who looks less impressive when you compare them to the monster that is Boruto, the monster that is Jura, the monsters that are known as Daemon, Baryon mode Naruto, and Isshiki. Sarada and Mituski just happen to be in a similar situation as some of the characters in the first division of Kaiju number 8, which this video on the left side of the screen breaks down every first division member from Isao Shinomiya, who you saw in the last couple of episodes of Kaiju number 8, to new members like Kafka and Kikuro Shinomiya, and over here on the right we got the latest Boruto chapter review for those of you guys who have not seen it just yet.